get into the. Are you serious? What in tarnation? OBS is killing me. OBS is killing me. Where's my video? There we go. Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Oh my God. Sorry about that. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another iteration of the Grifties. Your Grift God is back. We got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot on the agenda. It is a Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. There are no flying cars, no time travel, no bionic arms and body augmentations that allow you to fly through the friendly skies. There is no laser guns, no laser swords, okay? There's no telekinesis abilities or any special drugs that unlocks the rest of the percentage of your brain that allows you to fly and stuff like that. There's nothing like that. We were lied to. No aliens, no spacecrafts. All we have are pronouns. That's what you got. Pronouns. Now, we did bring the direwolf back. We did that. We did that, and we're going to get the woolly mammoth next. So, I hope you're prepared to watch your fucking dogs get eaten alive by direwolves. Anyway, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. The Grifties is back after taking a little bit of a week hiatus. Might have been a little bit more than a week. So I had to sit back and reevaluate some things. For those of you who have been here for a while, you know why. I want to say thank you for hitting the like button, by the way. I believe that my channel in particular, let me get the grifting board off of the thing so y'all can not have to see the thing. And I'm gonna have to lift the camera up a little bit in the near future, but for right now it's fine. My channel might be the greatest example for the biggest slide in grifting history. That's right. I quite frankly, I don't know what happened, guys. So let me just tell the story. If you've been here, if you've been watching for a while, then you already know. But for those of you who are new, so around January of last year, we had 6,000 subs. Okay. We had 6,000 subs. And then Gamergate happened and we started growing a lot. And keep in mind, guys, I've only been grifting. We started grifting in August 2022. So our 3-year grifting anniversary will be August of this year. So 6,000 subs January last year. Gamergate happened. We started volume is low as hell. Can you hear me now? Mic check. Sorry about that. So January 2024, we was at 6K subs. Gamergate happened. We started growing a lot. And then by the end of the year, we were able to hit our 15,000 sub goal, which we did. By the end of January, we was at 16,000 subs. And then by the end of February of this year, we was at 17,000 subs. And by the way, January was my greatest month grifting ever. Like we were knocking it out of the park this past January. Every video we dropped was doing bare minimum 1,500. And when I say my greatest month, remember, it's relative to me. So, of course, these numbers mean nothing to, like, bigger grifters like Hypnotic or Smash JT. So, every video we was dropping was doing bare minimum 1,500 views, right? But we was dropping videos. We was doing 2, 3, 4,000. You know what I'm saying? Every now and again, maybe 4 or 5 videos, we had one that hit 10K. And, like, the way it was looking was like, okay, we're on the upswing. It's time to capitalize. It's time to double down and do what we got to do. I even had my first video in January to ever hit 100,000 views. I've had videos hit 15K, 20K, 25, and 30. Never have I ever had one hit 60,000. I'm not 60,000, 100,000. So when I had a video hit 100,000 views in January, I knew it was time to double down on my channel and start like really showing my audience that, hey, I'm in this for the long haul. We're about to get better. And so I started investing, building this studio. I did try to come up with an idea for a better mic situation, but it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. But we got better cameras, better visual. We're no longer using a webcam. We're using an actual real camera, better lighting, everything. I wanted to improve everything across the board. And so February came and poof. Now, don't get it twisted. I've had stagnations on my channel before. I've absolutely had times where we weren't growing. We were kind of stagnant, and that's par for the course. But never have I ever seen my channel regress. Never. And I can't quantify in my mind, how did I go from having the greatest month as a grifter in January to February, March, April regression? As a matter of fact, like I told you, in February we hit 17,000 subs. If you remove the growth that I received from the Tyrone Magnus video that I released, we gained no subs from February, March, and April. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. That's an absolute fact. I have never gone outside of the slide in 2023. No, it might have been 2024. No, it was 2023. Outside of the little slide we had during the summertime, but that was in between me moving and stuff like that. There wasn't much growth, and I wasn't putting out much content. But outside of that, we never had a period where we were stagnant for 3 months straight. And this isn't even stagnation. This is regression. So that's why I kind of I took a week off to assess what do I need, what changed, what happened, what happened, nigga? Guys, what? We went from doing 3,000 views a video in January to now all of a sudden, if I get a video to hit 1,000 views today, it's a cause for celebration. I'm so confused now. Some people are speculating that when YouTube released their anti-clickbait model back in February, that's what affected everyone. And I think there's some credibility to that, because I remember when it first started happening, a lot of YouTubers were pointing this out. A lot of YouTubers was having this problem. So I didn't feel so bad about it. I was like, okay, cool. Well, we'll just keep uploading. We'll just keep drifting, and we'll come out of this funk. As far as I can tell right now, the funk is over. Hypnotic is back to how he normally is. Smash JT is back to how he normally is. Kata is back to how he normally is. Everybody seems to be getting back to where they were before whatever happened. Except me. So, whatever. We had to sit back and I had to reassess what I wanted to do. So I think I got an idea on what I want to do. It's not something that I really need to announce. I'm just going to start doing it consistently. But so anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a couple of topics here. After we get done with the topics, I'm not going to end the stream. We're actually going to go to a intermission, and then we're going to start playing Expedition 33. That's what we're going to do. So if you're here for the topics, great. If you want to stay around for the gameplay, awesome. We're going to do that. And then, of course, tonight at midnight, we're going to go back to South at Midnight, Grifty the Clown. If you haven't subscribed to Grifty the Clown already, we're going to get back on that. So we got to get on the grind. So anyway, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are just coming in, I just had to start complaining for a minute about my channel. But we're going to go ahead and get into these topics, man. So much to talk about. I got the Grift board right here. The Grift board with all the topics on it, as you can see right here. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my handwriting. Make sure you guys hit the like button so we can push this out into the algorithm. Make sure you guys are following me on Instagram. It's Atreus_. And yeah, so where do we want to start this thing off, man? Where do we want to start? Okay, we'll start with this. For some odd reason, this is strange. And let me make sure that my story one window is correct. It is not. So let me fix that. There we go. All right. And so we'll come here. All right. So this was strange to watch. Now, y'all know, what is this? Why is it showing two? Okay. Whatever. I'm just gonna ignore that. All right. So, y'all know that I am a big fan of Eric July. Is it me or is this whatever? So I'm a big fan of Eric July. Let me see something. What's going on here? Okay, cool. All right. I'm a big fan of Eric July. I'm also a fan of Muganlord. Okay. Well, okay, so Muganlord is one of my colleagues. A fan is a strong word. Okay. But I'm a big fan of Eric July, and I like Muganlord. He's a colleague. Okay. You know, I don't know if he's as big as a grifter as I am, but he's a colleague. And so it was kind of strange, you know, seeing these guys, both black men, even despite Muganlord having the anime hair. Apparently, I wouldn't go as far as to say beefing, but they kind of beefing. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta go over this. We gotta dig deep and find out what the hell is going on and why are two. And I hate to put identity into this, but like, why y'all niggas going at each other next? So let's see what happens here. So it starts with, I guess, Renown Zero puts this tweet out. He says, I don't buy product from smug assholes who accuse me of trying to get them sued by Sega. I've already got more great comments coming from Muganlord, Vaughn M. Coleman, and Tyler C. World coming this week to read. A change made by the EIC in the way it's printed isn't a misprint. So I guess he's talking about Eric July here. So I guess he says Eric July is accusing him of trying to get him sued by Sega, I suppose. Okay. I don't know the backstory on that. If y'all know the backstory on that, somebody send it to me. I don't know what's going on there. Okay. All right. And so Muganlord responds to this and he says, I appreciate the shout out, but I don't like Venus Orient comics being dragged into these beefs. But since we are here, I will voice my opinion on the Ripperverse Blood Ruth misprint. Okay. Before we even get into it, this is my opinion. Now that I officially released my first comic book series, Varion Keller's Vampire Killers, I experienced a crash course into the campaign and fulfillment process. It is no joke, and it will eat through your money if you underestimate the variables involved in the process. If you don't know, Eric July released the first issue of Bloodruth. There is a double page spread that plays out a dramatic sequence. The problem is one half of the spread is also printed on the page before the spread takes place. It looks odd and out of place. Shane Davis, Ethan Van Sciver, and many other detractors says that it's a misprint, while Ripperverse fans say it isn't because Eric July says so. While I don't believe it's a misprint, he says, why do I believe it's a misprint? Well, I just finished fulfillment of my book. There was a misprinting error discovered by a few of my backers from Wave 1 shipments of books. I attached a video below of one of the backers showing me the misprint. The printing company, Mixam, had mismatched the order of the pages during the bounding process of cover A. Not only that, two were spotted to have a duplicate page. Once this was brought to my attention, I had half the entire fulfillment process before shipping out Wave 2 to my backers. That meant that I had to tear through all of the pages of Wave 2 and skim through all of the cover A's, but while I was at it, I needed to be sure that covers B, C, and D weren't misprinted either. Luckily, it was only cover A. Shipping costs were already eating through the money, especially with international shipping. This means that I now have to reship cover A's once Mixam fixed this mistake. Mixam had to ship me an entirely new batch of cover A's. This meant that backers of Wave 2 and Wave 3 will receive late books. I had to notify my backers and apologies for this unexpected misfortune, and I promised to them that I will make it right. So I'm thinking that where he's getting at here is that what the hell? Johnny Guillotine says, didn't Eric dig down Racket's wife? Oh my God! I don't know nothing about that, sir. I would love to know the backstory, but I don't know nothing about that, sir. So he says, Why was only cover A misprinted? Well, I soon discovered that Mixam has a history of fucking up bigger orders when it comes to printing. Cover A had the most books ordered, then covers B, C, and D. What happened to quality control? It seems like the bigger the order, the less likely someone is willing to sit through all of these books to make sure that nothing went wrong with the printing. They promised me that I would be delivered a quality product, and they failed me. My entire convention inventory were no good and missed out on my first convention because I had no books to sell. But I came through on my promise and sacrificed what was left of my website inventory of cover A and reshipped them new cover A's while I wait for Mixam to send me the ones they promised. I had to eat the cost of shipping. That's a lot. That's a lot. I guess to understand this beef, we got to go through the entire thing. So bear with me, guys. So back to Bloodruth. That was clearly a misprint, a duplicated page that no one on the printing team bothered to examine before shipping out. Mixam lost money by reprinting my cover A's because of their mistake. Eric July does his own printing and printed thousands of Bloodruth covers. Printing isn't cheap, especially at Ripperverse volumes. It most likely cost him thousands of dollars to print those books. Once the double spread problem was discovered, instead of halting production, Instead of halting production or shipping of your books, he decided to preemptively go to YouTube and make a video claiming that it was a creative choice that didn't pan out the way he had hoped. This was an act of damage control before readers discovered it. If the readers got a hold of it before Eric made the video, Ripperverse fans would have also thought it had to be some kind of printing error. Eric didn't want to eat the cost of reprinting an entire stock of Bloodruths and instead shipped it out onto his base anyway and convinced you that it was a creative choice that went wrong on his end. I couldn't do that to my backers. I had to eat the cost of reshipping the books and lose a portion of my online store inventory to rectify Mixam's printing mistakes. Backers ended up getting their books on time. Those are heavy accusations. What's up, Double D Bits? What's up, Future Boy? So he goes, now that I am part of the indie comic space, I see firsthand how some creators will try to cut corners to avoid costs and even make the consumer make up for it. What I explained is only the fulfillment aspect. Wait until you find out how creators try to cut corners to avoid having to pay artists to draw an extra page to flesh out their vision. The script simply doesn't flow correctly on one page and needs to be fleshed out onto another page, but the creator refuses to allow the artist to draw an additional page because that means he or she must pay for the additional page. That was just my insight on what really goes on with the process. I believe Eric July screwed up and didn't want to take the hit on reprinting those books. Instead, shipped out anyway and claimed it was a creative choice that didn't pan out right. This is not hating. This is fair skepticism, and this is from someone who bought Yara, Gooden, and Horseman. There you have it, and those are accusations. Okay, Muganlord pretty much said, he came in and said, hey, you know what, Eric July, I think you're a bitch and you trying to hide it. That's what he, okay, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. I'm just trying to instigate. I'm instigating. But I mean, that's what he's saying. He's saying you shipped out a book that had a printing error and you knew it had a printing error. And instead of acknowledging that it was a printing error and, you know, not refunding, but shipping out new versions of the books to reprint, you wanted to save money and claim it was a creative decision and not a printing error. Okay. Eric July responds, though. Holy. Eric July responds. He goes, I didn't realize this was still a topic of discussion. Since I've also supported your work, I want to respond respectfully because it feels like the criticism here was less about genuine concern and more about elevating your own stance. Your assumption isn't just incorrect, it doesn't hold up logically. We've acknowledged past issues openly and have issued reprints when appropriate for both books and merch. So if the implication is that we are unwilling to do so here, you'd have to explain why we've never hesitated before, but supposedly would now. In this case, it wasn't an oversight, it was an intentional creative decision. The writers involved are also directors, so approaching it that way shouldn't be surprising. Ultimately, as stated before the book even shipped, the final call was mine. If you disagree with the choice, that's perfectly fair, but questioning our integrity over the decision is unnecessary. Okay, so Eric July is pretty much saying here that we've always issued reprints of books and merch. So why would all of a sudden we don't want to do it now? Now, that could depend, you know. Not that I'm taking sides here or anything like that, but that can depend, right? Maybe you've had no problem with issuing reprints earlier because maybe it was only a couple dozen books. And now you're dealing with an entire batch of books. If it's thousands of books, then maybe you're like, shit, we've issued reprints before, but we ain't doing it today. You know what I'm saying? Just to save a few dollars. I don't know. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying we can't look at that and say, oh, you know what? He's right. They did it before. Why wouldn't they do it now? Maybe before when you was issuing reprints, the company was more financially, ahead. Maybe now, maybe the company isn't financially in the best spot. I don't know. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just thinking of possibilities to combat what he said. I don't understand the part about the writers also being directors. I don't understand that part. I don't know what that means. Maybe somebody who knows more about comics can explain that to me. He said that it wasn't an oversight. It was an intentional creative decision. The writers involved are also directors. So approaching it that way shouldn't be surprising. I don't know what that means. He continues though. Additionally, Muganlord, you're not doing anything special by suggesting you wouldn't do what you're wrongfully accused us of. There are basic business ethics you should always deliver on your promises and communicate with your customers. Okay. In other words, it's a standard. The abnormality would be doing the opposite. Jesus Christ. Okay. If the focus was on the decision and the fact it didn't land, great. The fans can dispute and agree or disagree. I take no exception for voicing the fact that one dislikes it creatively. Unfortunately, that's not what the post does. Instead, it essentially calls me a liar and suggests we've cut corners for our audience. And there it is. There it is. Okay. So that was his response. And then Muganlord responds. If you're going to respond to me, at least tag me in it, my guy. So now, this is where it goes off the rails. Again, I like Muganlord. I like Eric July. But starting this off by saying, if you're going to respond to me, at least tag me in it, my guy. You just lost. You just lost. Nigga, this is Twitter. This is Twitter. He quote tweeted you. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that not basically the same thing as tagging somebody? I don't know. Make sure y'all hit the like button. 37 viewers, only 14 likes. Help your boy. That's not a good look. Supported my work. In what way have you supported my work? You admitted to lurking around Renown Zero when I was on his platform, but said nothing. You only shouted me out on your platform because I super chatted you in regard to your upcoming books. Furthermore, you even made videos shutting out upcoming indie creators and no shout out from you. We know people in the same circles, and not once have you said, hey, Muganlord got a campaign that just launched. Go check them out. See, me personally, I can't jive with that. I can't jive with that. When you have a big content creator like Eric July, him retweeting my tweet is enough for me. To me, this comes off as begging. It comes off as entitlement. Like I owe you something. And I get it. He's only responding to the fact that Eric July said, I supported your work. He said, I've supported your work. He never said that he platformed you. And maybe I read this wrong. Let me go back. Since I've also supported your work, he said, I've supported your work. Now, maybe, again, I always look for my audience to hold me accountable if I'm wrong. But me telling you that I supported your work is not the same as me saying that I've platformed your work. Am I wrong in saying that? Me telling you I support your work means I like what you do and I would speak positively about it. Nigga, I didn't say I put you on. I didn't say I gave you opportunities. I support your work. This right here is me glazing. I'm just glazing. I'm glazing. I can admit it. You got me. I'm glazing. And if I had Muganlord's book, I would put it here too. But I'm glazing. And the reason I'm glazing is because I have a personal attachment to this book just because of the fact that I've said for years black people need to make their own content. And here you have a guy like Eric July who said, fuck it, I'm going to take matters into my own hands and make my own content. So, I want to put this on display. Because there was a nigga out there who said, fuck it, I'm not going to wait on somebody else to do it. I'm going to do it myself. And that's what they did. That's what he did. And I would do the same thing for Muganlord. But this idea that he didn't support your work because he didn't personally shout you out on his platform, he doesn't have to, bro. He doesn't have to. But anyway, let's continue. Let me see. Okay. He says, LG tagged you in my campaign, and all you did was repost, not quote tweet, letting people know what the campaign even is. See, that's what I'm talking about. You can't ask for support. You cannot ask for support from any creator and then demand on how they do it. As far as I'm concerned, Eric July he's the CEO of an actual comic book company. He may not have the time. I don't know. I want to make this clear. You don't owe me anything, but I'm not going to sit there and let you say that you supported me, because that is a lie. Real support is real Hypnotic, and this guy isn't even a comic YouTuber. His viewers, along with my viewers, came through. First of all, shout out to Hypnotic, because Hypnotic has that kind of platform to where he can really put creators on. And so shout out to Hypnotic and everything he's built. But how you going to compare the two? Eric July doesn't he doesn't stream that much anymore, if at all. Hypnotic has a staple show that is now starting to rival those like Friday Night Tights, Tuesday Night Main Event, and whomever else has a show. So, I mean, I don't know. And then he said, with that being said, what I said about your blood roof situation is my opinion. Could I be wrong? Sure. But I stand by what I say. Oh, and the drama goes on. That's interesting, says Eric July. I've quote tweeted you, but you also wanted me to tag you? Sounds good. I see that what constitutes as support for you, you're now claiming it is lying, so there's not much else coming from it. Good luck in your endeavors. Muganlord says, I didn't get the notification that you quote tweeted me. My notifications are flooded right now. I can admit when I'm wrong. And yes, you did quote tweet me. And right there, you just took the L. You just took the L. Because I would have left it as, you know what? I'll take the L on that. I didn't see that you quote tweet me. But now the excuse is my notifications are flooded right now. Come on, my guy. Come on. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You accuse the guy of not tagging you as if he was like trying to covertly respond to you and hope that you didn't see it. Because that's the only reason that you would ever accuse somebody of going after you without tagging you. If somebody make a post about me without tagging me, I'm going to point that out because I'm assuming that they're trying to talk shit about me while also ducking me. But when somebody quotes tweets you, they're not ducking you. You pointed that out, you was wrong. And so now you want to make the excuse that my notifications were flooded. I can't rock with that. I'm sorry. I gotta serve you L's for it. You know that meme of Floyd Mayweather, L. I gotta give you L's for that. I'm sorry. You gotta take the L's for that. And to be honest with you, I don't even know why I switched. To be honest with you, unfortunately, Muganlord is getting cooked in his comments. Look at this. Tag in a quote tweet. There, you little bitch. Damn, that's crazy. When I say tag, I meant quote tweet. Thought it was a screenshot of my tweet. I admit when I'm wrong and wrong about something, and I appreciate you for admitting you're wrong. I just think you should admit that you're wrong without the excuses. All right, let's go and get Cryptic Beats on up out of here. It's going to time you out. The fucking muddy waters. Anyway, this person says, I get where you're coming from, although best be careful because you know certain people from CG will take this as well as you know the drama tactics they will use by using your tweet for their own personal agenda, if you know what I mean. Also, he did tag you in a follow-up. At least tag me in it. He quote tweeted you directly. What more are you looking for? That's a big ass tag as it could get. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, you got your Eric July haters. Me personally, where do I stand on this issue? First of all, it's worth noting, Atreus doesn't know anything about, how comics work. I don't know anything about it. I ain't gonna sit there and pretend to know. I don't even know what the error in the book was. If there was an error in the book, depending on the egregiousness of the error, like he mentioned in his own book that a page was repeated, like it was the same page twice. Respectfully, I like Eric July, but ain't no way you finna tell me a double page was a creative decision. You're not gonna convince me of that. It's no way. Hold on. Okay, there we go. That's much better. You're not gonna convince me that a double page was a creative decision. Nah, I ain't going for that. That's a grift. That's a cap. All right. So whatever that misprint was, hopefully he was being honest about whether or not it was a creative decision. Otherwise, this is why I always tell you guys, you want to be supporters, not fans. You want to be supporters, not fans. Because when your favorite content creator comes out and they make a mistake, you want to be able to detach yourself from it and be able to call a spade a spade. I'm a supporter of Muganlord. That's why I'm able to sit back and look at this situation objectively and determine that, I don't know, Muganlord, you took the L on this one. Even if you was right, even if you were right about the fact that he purposely damage controlled and said that it was done as a creative decision while he was really trying to cut corners, your response to this nullified anything you said before. If you're going to respond to me, at least tag me. Nigga, he quote tweeted you. And so nobody remembers the actual criticism. Now they're going to talk about how you just got cooked. And unfortunately, that's unfortunate. And again, when it comes to Eric July, I don't know him personally to know whether or not he would do something like that. So I'm not going to sit up here and grift and say, oh yeah, Eric July would never do anything like that. I don't know. I really don't. But until you show me proof that that's exactly what he did, I can't get on here and say, Eric July, you asshole. No, I'm not doing that. As far as the way I see this decision, a heavy accusation was put out there. Eric July clapped back, and then Muganlord tried to clap back and end up clapping himself, which is nasty work. Nasty work. So we'll just move on from that. I see Kato's in the chat calling me a monkey. That is some nasty work. So let me do a roll call real quick. Let me see how many of y'all in here, man. We got 43 of y'all in here. I appreciate y'all for being here. Shout out to Bruce Fields. Shout out to Honey. Okay. Shout out to my boy Cryptic Beats. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that boy Johnny Guillotine. Yeah, we probably shouldn't do that. That's probably gonna get on y'all nerve. That's probably gonna get on y'all nerve. Christopher Baker. Okay, S Tier Immortal. All right, we got Person in the building. Double D Bits. Pause. Double D Bits. What the hell? My boy Future Boy is in the building. Stealth. My first time seeing Stealth in the building. Brandon, the anime guy, is here. Okay. Who else we got? Who else we got in here? You know what I'm saying? John Bond Zombies in the building. All right. Who else? Kata. Okay. Not Cavern.
Never seen myself.
Y'all seeing yourself.
Represented. This is awesome because I've never seen myself.
Okay. So we counted Kata. Not Cavern is in the building. He says, I'm a huge fan of both the Ripperverse and Venus Orient comments. They need to hash this shit out now, bro. Listen, I don't need them to be friends. But hey, you know what I'm saying? But shouts out to you, Not Cavern. Chaos Dragon. Shouts out to you. Who dropped a 99-cent super, well, not 99 cents. What is New Zealand? New Zealand. Okay. Shouts out to you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Let's see who else we got in the building. Christopher Baker drops a 20 banger on your boy. We in here. He says, yes, Muddy Waters is tough but fair. I will allow that. Okay. I will allow that. I really appreciate the $20 super chat, and congratulations, you can see yourself. We also got our boy Trotter Taz in the building. Okay, and Henry DJ is in the building. What's going on, Henry? I'm glad. He says first time. What's up? Hey, I'm glad you're here. I hope that you stay. We just in here talking mad shit. We just got finished talking about Eric July and Muganlord. I hope that they can figure that out. But I gotta be honest with you. Before I move on. As much as I would love for them to hash that out, from the perspective of a creator, once you call into question my integrity, I don't know. You would have been better off calling me the hard ER. Because once you question, like you accusing me of lying to my audience, if it's true, then I gotta accept accountability. But once you accuse me of lying to my audience and trying to steal or cheat them, that's in the creative world, those are fighting words. All right, let's get to it. Accusing me of actually being a grifter. That's crazy. All right, gang. Oh, before we get to the next topic, y'all saw the GTA trailer, right? Y'all saw it? Guess who's in it? Can you take a good guess? Guess who actually made a cameo in the GTA 6 trailer? Try to take a good guess. And make sure y'all hit the like button too. Okay? Guess who was in the trailer. I'm going to give y'all 30 seconds to try to guess who was in the trailer. Just take a good guess. Maybe not Cavern, but that's not who I'm looking for. 20 more seconds. Oh my God. Kata is in the trailer. I mean, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, they done put this nigga in the damn trailer. Oh, good Lord, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make it up. Where is it? Damn, it's not even on here. But anyway, when I saw this, my reaction. Immediately, I was like, that is definitely Kata. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Y'all talking about y'all seen me. I don't know where y'all could have possibly seen me at in there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't see me. I could not see myself. I could not see myself. And also, before we move on, just a reminder for those of you who are not following us on Twitter for some reason, New Blackstreet has Vera Dark coming on this Friday. Okay, so hey, we cooking. I don't know what you want me to say. We cooking. So, hey, we are cooking. Let's move on though. I think I want to talk about something positive. Okay, I'm gonna give a special shout out. One Don DeMarco for Vera Dark, abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Okay? Alright. Let's find it. Here we are. Or, perhaps not. Perhaps not. All right, let's get to it. So, y'all see this? Y'all see that? 2 million copies sold. $2 million. Not Karen says, damn, I don't know what Kata looks like. Oh, that means you ain't watching New Blackstreet. That's crazy. Make sure y'all subscribe to New Blackstreet. 2 million copies? Now let's compartmentalize this. But how many players is crazy? You wrong for that. But how many players is crazy? Now let's compartmentalize that. Because somebody's going to jump from the top rope with a flying elbow. You know what I'm saying? From the top. Let me do it this way. With a flying elbow, they're going to come from the top rope. But you said 2 million ain't shit. Because it is true that if Assassin's Creed Shadows announced 2 million copies sold, we would probably say that ain't shit. But it's important that you compartmentalize the information and take into all the context, right? Assassin's Creed Shadows has at least a $300 million budget. At least. I will say $250 million budget. We'll say that. $250 million budget. At least. Okay? When you factor in marketing. When you factor in development costs. Remember that they delayed the game for a substantial amount of time, which after doing the math, we were told that it was going to cost Ubisoft $20 million for that delay. The production cost for those months being delayed was $20 million. So if you do the math and see how long, if you can agree that a game like Assassin's Creed cost $20 million for what? It was it was supposed to come out in November. It didn't. So that means November, December, January, February, March. And then when did it come out? It came out in April. So 5 months cost them $20 million. Game was in development for about what? 5 years? Do the math. We're talking at the very least $40 million a year. That's $200 million. Might have been longer than 5 years. And the delay itself, so that's $220 million. Then you add in advertisements. Guys, those toys with the Tory gates aren't free. It's not free to put signs up. It's not free to put ads on YouTube. That costs monies. So we talking about At least $350 million. Meanwhile, this game right here, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, had only 33 people working on it. Ain't that something? 33 people working on the game. They called it Expedition 33. I just caught on to that. I'm sorry. But anyway, 33 people working on this game. What was the budget? I wonder if we can find the budget. Let me see if I can find the budget. Budget. Let's see if we can find the budget. Proper. See. What's the development budget of this game? I've seen rumors it costs less than $10 million. Nah, no way. There's no way that hell nah. I don't see anything. I don't see anything that suggests a legit budget. But if you're to take these rumors, some people are trying to say that it costs less than $10 million. There's no possible way, right? No possible way this game costs less. Nope. I'm not even going to entertain that. There's no possible way. There's no possible way this game costs less than $10 million to make. No way. I'm going to ignore that. We're going to pretend we never seen that. We're just going to go back to the original grift. And anyway, so let's read this coming from Grums. Grum says Clair Obscur Expedition 33 sells 2 million copies as today. One of these things are not like the other, and it's pretty obvious game journalists in AAA are gaslighting you with success stories like 2 million players for Assassin's Creed Shadows and 1 million players for South of Midnight. Who the fuck said 1 million players for South of Midnight? Nah, I don't believe that. Yet when you look at SteamDB, Expedition 33 is more than double Shadows and 100 times of South of Midnight. Clair Obscur, 145. He's talking about the player count. Players are asking what gives. These are obvious, not equivalent milestones of success, and nobody's fooled by players versus sales. Yet we are expected to buy this fiction that these two games are somehow just as much of a success as Expedition 33. No, because you actually have to do some math to understand that they're not even close to the success. Not even close. Okay? Keep in mind that Assassin's Creed Shadows is a quadruple A game. Okay? Quadruple A. All right? Stop it. You know? And also keep in mind that this game came out on Game Pass as well. Think how many people playing it on Game Pass. Now, I wonder how does Xbox handle that, right? How does Xbox handle, what if a game sells well but nobody plays it on Game Pass? I don't know. But this, I just want you guys to know, I'm really proud of gamers for coming out and supporting this game. One, it deserves it. And we're going to be playing it again in just, right after the show. It deserves it. It's beautifully made. Somebody said, Chaos Dragon says the budget is rumored to be around $55 million. Okay, that sounds about right. Stealth says, you see Yorch Torch backtrack on Expedition 33 after it sold 2 mil. Man's a hole at all. Please, for the love of God, let me find that. Give me a second, gang. Hold on, before we go into that. South of Midnight reaches over 1 million players in less than a month. Stop it. Nobody believes this. How does a game that couldn't even get 1,500... Hold on, let's go to SteamDB. You couldn't get 1,500 people on Steam to buy the game, but I'm supposed to believe you got 1 million players. Hold on, gang. Hold on. Nah, I'm not. Nah. I'm not going. You couldn't get 1,500 players on Steam, but all of a sudden you got 1 million players. So you trying to convince me that 1 million people on Xbox Game Pass played this game? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't. So you can go straight to hell with that Bill Snipe, because I don't believe it. I don't believe it. The precedent has already been set, gang. This is yet another game. This is yet another game that came out simultaneously on Game Pass and Steam and sold well, including Oblivion, gang. Nah. Let's get to somebody else said. Let's get to Yorch Torch, let's look at Claire. Let me look at Expedition 33. Yeah, let's go there. Oh, we're already here. Yep, still at 145,000. There's 85,000 people playing this game right now, gang. That's it. Imagine if this game had multiplayer. Hey, listen. Sandfall. Screw the DLC. Get to work on the sequel. Immediately. Get to work on the sequel. Stop it. And this time, add a variety. Well, no, I ain't even finished this game, so let me not tell y'all what to add for the new game. Let's go and find Yorch Torch, because I know this grift is grifting. 1 million players. Stop. What the hell you think you talking to? Yorch Torch. Let's find out what Yorch Torch games is talking about. Not Cavern says turn-based multiplayer. Has that been done yet? I mean, I'm pretty sure it has, right? I mean, like, even if you was to damn, I'm trying to think. Doesn't XCOM have something like that? Doesn't XCOM have? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not big on turn-based games. This game, like, obviously I grew up playing Pokemon, but that's neither here nor there. This game though, I just love. And then Double D Bit says whoever goes first wins, but not if you can parry. Because in this game, if you can parry, you can change the dynamic of it. Let's see. Where is it? I'm trying to find the backtracking post. Let me see. All right. Giggity. If you have the backtracking post from Yorch Torch on Twitter, please send it to me. Because this nigga tweet too much. Nah, he ain't serious. Look at this. Gamers, I honestly don't know why some of you see wokeness everywhere. Just relax and enjoy everything that gaming offers. Indies, retro games, hot female characters, cool co-op like Split Fiction. There's a lot of negativity in gaming, and we need to turn things around now. God damn. No. No. I don't even think this is the post that the person in the chat was telling us about. But this nigga's trolling. Y'all are right. This nigga is clearly trolling. Nah, let me check out these comments. He's like, me too. I'm confused. I'm confused. Look at this person says, I'm confused. Look, I'm confused. I'm confused too, nigga. Look at him. We need to start focusing on the positives rather than the negatives. It'll be funnier while we build our own games and create our own content. Man, this nigga's gang. This dog. I have no words. I have no words. But do you see what I'm talking about? When I tell y'all about the actual grifters. Yes, I call myself the grift god to make fun of the people on the left who think that shit is an insult to me because I know I'm not a grifter. But this guy's an actual grifter. After the whole John Della back hole and getting roasted on the internet, because he was getting roasted on the internet for a full week. A full week. Let me get closer to y'all. A full week this man was getting roasted on the internet. And now all of a sudden we need to focus on the positives. That's nasty work. That's nasty. That's nasty work. That is nasty work. Hold on, what else is it? No offense, Yorch, but no one is going to take you seriously, given this is literally what you've been doing. You're going to have to spend a lot of time repairing your reputation before you can make posts like this and be taken seriously. Whole freaking leave. And the clown horn of the day goes to Yorch Torch. I don't even know if this is the post that whoever in the comments brought it up. Somebody said, I think it was Person who said, did I see the backtrack? Let me see. Somebody said, did I see the Yorch Torch backtrack? Somebody brought it up. I don't even think this is the post that you was referring to, but we found gold anyway. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Just now all of a sudden he's the arbiter for let's have fun. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, let's go back. Let's go back. All right. So if you saw just a minute ago, John Walker is going viral. And so Stealth said it's his pinned comment. Oh, no, then let me go back. Nah, let me go back. We gotta see that. It was right there in my face, gang. It was right there in my face. Holy. Okay. He says, gamers, I've been reading your comments regarding my recent takes about praising and not criticizing Expedition 33. There seems to be some confusion. Oh no, this nigga's about to backtrack hard, ain't he? Oh my gosh. This nigga's about to backtrack. What's going on, Lolo25? What's going on? It's good to see you. He says, rightly so. How does Yorch dare criticize content in the game, but then praise it when it hits a sales milestone? Is Yorch grifting? Yes, you are, nigga. I think it's time we define a rule for the benefit of our conversation surrounding gaming. You are not the nigga to define it. I'm sorry. Let somebody else define it. He says, just because someone labels a game as woke, that doesn't mean the game is automatically non-binary or that the person is calling for a boycott. Well, just because they call it woke doesn't mean that they're doing that, but you have done that, though. Every time you call something woke, you and John Della Backhole is labeling it non-binary. And I don't even want to, like, at first, when they first started saying non-binary, I thought it was clever, but now I don't even want to be associated with that word. It just sounds cringy now. And it's because it got that Yorch backhole stench on it, don't it? Ugh. Like, imagine going out and saying, yeah, it's a non-binary for me. I would blow my own brains out. Anyway, let's go. He says, Expedition 33 may handle representation and character development in a way that I don't agree with, but that doesn't mean I called for a boycott. I encourage you to find a single post where I said Expedition 33 was non-binary or I called for a boycott explicitly. And yes, I don't think I handled my reaction to the game in the best ways. I take the L on that. Okay. Having said all of this, I'm truly glad this game is being enjoyed by literally millions of players around the world. This is the W Western games desperately needed, and I'm more than happy to celebrate it. God bless y'all. Okay. Good job owning your L. Look at Kata. Right. And this nigga, hey man, I wish I could tweet as much as Kata does, but I'll be out here trying to get to it. You know, I'll give you credit for taking the L. I'll give you the credit for taking the L. That's fine. So I'm not, you know what? I'm not even going to roast you for that. I'm not even going to roast you for that. I'm just going to say, good on taking the L, good on taking the accountability, and I'll leave it there. I'm not going to roast you. Hopefully from this point, Yorch Torch can, either way, I'll never strip the title of grifter from you, because I believe an entire year of grifting it cannot be undone in a little amount of time. So yeah. Lolo25 says Western game, it's French though. Yeah, but isn't France like has a little bit of those Americanized values? I could be wrong. So, like we all know Australia's not in the West, right? But they do have those westernized values. Person, I'm black, so I may not know exactly where France is on the map. I thought I did, but I thought it was a Western country as well. But when he says that kind of put a little fear in my heart, like I might not know where France is at. Like that kind of put a little fear in your boy's heart. Like I don't know where France is at. Okay, we got others saying that France is a Western country. I was about to say like, hey, I'm not confident now. I wasn't confident enough to be like, yeah, France is a Western country. But yeah, yeah. I was like, shit. Let me I was like, yeah, let me not say nothing. I would never roast nobody about what's on the map because my ass barely knows. So anyway, going back to what we were saying, John Walker is trending right now. John Walker has been a very touchy subject. Okay, very touchy subject. And you can see right here, this person says John Walker never needed a redemption arc because he did nothing wrong. So we're gonna do a video reaction because your boy Kata has a viral video. So let's go to Kata's channel and we're gonna do a little. We're gonna show our boy some. Oh shit! Make sure I put the right name in. We're gonna see what he got going on. He got a video that's going viral. Look at him at 40K views.
The terrorists only set us back up.
So let's see what he got going on. Are we gonna watch the entire 19 minutes? Absolutely the fuck not. But we're gonna see what he got going on here.
You
have to stop calling them terrorists.
Yesterday.
Hold on. Let me make sure it's on 1.25. Okay, cool. Let's start it from the beginning.
The terrorists only set us back a bit.
You have to stop calling them terrorists.
Yesterday.
Alright, let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? It's Kata, aka Khalil Too Short, and this is going to be a different style of video. There was a certain conversation that has sprung back up after 4 years because of the release of the Thunderbolts with a certain character in the name of John Walker, aka Captain America, aka US Agent. I'm pretty sure a lot of you haven't seen the show because Falcon and the Winter Soldier is one of the lowest rated Marvel MCU shows in history, but in said show, John Walker, aka the new Captain America after Sam Wilson gives the shield up to the US government because he felt like he wasn't worthy enough to be Captain America. And the US government, being who they are, decide to get their own Captain America, and they run trials, and they get John Walker, a retired US Army Special Forces soldier who is a actual hero. There's a lot to talk about because he did a certain thing in the show that a lot of people felt some kind of way about, and after 4 years, the conversation has sprung back up. So now it's time for me to tell you guys why you're wrong, and John Walker did nothing wrong. We got a little...
Okay. Technically, John Walker didn't do anything wrong. I agree with that. However, the Captain America image is about being clean, about truth, justice, you know, being something that kids can look up to. I don't know. It's something about slaughtering a nigga in front of dozens of people that just don't breed Captain America to me. Now I get it. A lot of y'all are going to say, oh, but Captain America killed people. Yeah, he killed niggas in the field. You know, free of civilians. Remember that scene in Black Panther where T'Challa caught up to Elysius Claw. He caught up to him in the middle of that. It was where were they at again? I forgot where they was, but it was a bunch of people around. T'Challa had this nigga by the chest. He let them fangs come out. Them fangs, I'm an idiot. Them claws come out, and he was about to split Ulysses Claw's guts all over the ground. Because you know, T'Challa got that dog in him. He not with that whole spare. He not Batman. T'Challa is ripping necks open, okay? And then, what's her name? What is her name? Fuck. I forgot the name. The bald head chick. Damn it. Anyway, she said, T'Challa, King T'Challa, listen, relax. The world is watching. And T'Challa knew at that moment he couldn't split his guts right there because it would not look good optimally for Wakanda. It was Okoye. Okoye, that was her name. Okoye said that. And as much as we wanted to see him, you know, spill Claw's guts, she's right. The last thing you want to see is the leader of your country spilling somebody's blood in the middle of a bunch of people with phones out recording it. Hey, look at King T'Challa splitting somebody's guts in the middle of the street. We don't know why. He's just doing it. Yeah, that's not going to be a good look. And so to have somebody like Captain America, he's not the leader of America, but he is a representation of what America aspires to be, spilling the nigga's guts in the middle of, where was they? I don't think they was in Paris or anything like that. They was in a foreign country. I forgot where they were, but it's people everywhere. They looking, and Cap was like, man, fuck them folks. I don't know. I like John Walker, but I ain't like that. Not that I liked it as far as the narrative goes. It's just if I was in that real world, I was like, nigga, why would you spill his blood in front of all of those people? I don't agree with that.
A bit to talk about, but before we get too deep into the video, make sure that you do 3 things for me: like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. And if you don't do all 3 of those things, then Taskmaster will be reincarnated in the MCU after they reboot after Secret Wars, and they will be played by none other than Rachel Zegler.
I'm a narcissist.
All right, let's get into it.
No truer words
ever
said.
Let's get a little bit of context going into this, because context is key and context matters. First of all, the writers of Falcon and the Winter Soldier absolutely despise John Walker from the start, because at every opportunity they tried to make him the butt of the joke and make the heroic things that he's doing seem like it's wrong. He links up with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier trying to find Freckle Jesus, who is a legit terrorist and has been seen in the show multiple times being involved with the deaths of multiple innocent people. He's trying to find her, bring her in, and subdue her, and if he can't do any of those things, he is going to take them out, as one should. Let's fast.
Okay, so, and I like that he brought that up, because this displays how much, this is why we talk about woke shit and stuff all the time. Because the people who have the criticisms of us, they're not looking deep enough. You're not looking deep enough. We're attacking this thing at a molecular level. When you hire these woke people who have animosity for straight white men and have all of the love in the world for coloreds. then this is what they'll do. They'll take what should have been, like you absolutely could have made John Walker look like a guy who could have been a Captain America but fumbled it. But instead, you wound up making John Walker look like a hero that we all like, which wasn't your intent. And then your intent was to make Freckled Jesus be a sympathetic villain, somebody who we should humanize because of what she's going through. I don't give a fuck what this bitch is going through. She just blew up a building full of innocent people! You got to stop calling them terrorists. Get this bitch ass Captain America out of here and bring John Walker back in here. You got to stop calling them terrorists. She blew up a building! Let's continue.
Fast forward, because there's a lot of dumb stuff happening in the show that I'm pretty sure you don't care about. Oh yeah, and he gets his ass handed to him by the Wakandans because they're better because black, I guess.
Dora Milaje have jurisdiction wherever the Dora Milaje find themselves to be.
Hey, who is this nigga?
Fast forward to...
Okay. Let me respond to that. I'm gonna push back on that a little bit. And I could be wrong. Y'all can let me know if I'm wrong. I always saw the because y'all know I don't like the whole, like, oh, of course the black women are the protectors. And no. I always thought that the Dora Milaje was just as strong and as powerful as they was because of the fact that vibranium is pretty much woven into their way of life. I look at the entire Wakandan nation, but especially the Dora Milaje, they got what they wear is vibranium, the weapons that they use is vibranium, and because of they just grew up with vibranium, it's probably in their bloodstream. So I could accept Okoye. Even if you take out the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Okoye was in the Infinity War fighting Midnight. What's her name? Proxima Midnight. Now, if we thought that Okoye was just a regular human, it's no fucking way she was about to go toe to toe with Proxima Midnight. No way. As a matter of fact, if I'm Thanos, and I find out that Proxima Midnight is struggling, having it fighting Black Widow. She was kicking Black Widow's ass. But Proxima Midnight is getting her ass whooped by regular Okoye with no abilities. Not only would Thanos celebrate her death, but he would bring her ass back and kill her again. Because what the fuck are you even a member of my Black Order for? Now, Vitso says the fact that the female guard has jurisdiction everywhere they go is dumb. I don't think they have jurisdiction. What I do agree, though, is there's never any consequences for what they do wherever they go. That's a problem. That is a problem. So I don't think they have jurisdiction. We just never see the consequences. But anyway, let's go.
To the scene in question that has everybody losing their minds. So again, context matters. Previously, we just saw Freckled Jesus and her associates blow up a hospital and kill a bunch of innocent people in it. So obviously, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, John Walker, and his best friend Battlestar are trying to find her to bring her in so she can pay for her crimes. And in doing so, they find out where she is, and that's when the fight ensues. Now, this is where the context is key, because people think that he just killed the terrorist because he was angry and, oh, powerful, oh, he was on a trip or whatever. Context matters. The same terrorist that people are trying to say was surrendering and he was so innocent moments earlier quite literally was trying to hold John Walker down so that he could be stabbed and killed. Falcon, the Winter Soldier, Battlestar, and John Walker, while fighting the terrorists, were not trying to kill them. They were trying to subdue them. The terrorists, on the other hand, were trying to kill every single individual that was in that building with them. And lo and behold, they ended up succeeding in killing John Walker's best friend, Battlestar. Now here is where more context comes into play. Once they realize that, oh, we were trying to kill these people and we actively just did, they tried to scramble and scram like they didn't do what they were setting out to do the entire time they were fighting these people.
Oh, that's an excellent point. And this is where you got to have a really deep understanding of what they're trying to accomplish when they are writing these stories, right? In that fight, Freckled Jesus and her friend, like he said, are clearly trying to kill the opposition. It's very clear. They're not trying to fight to knock these people out. They're trying to kill them. So when Freckled Jesus actually accomplishes this, She takes her mask off in shock, like, oh my God, I can't believe what I just did. Bitch, you just blew up a hospital with a bunch of innocent people in it. So why would you be shocked at the fact that, oh my God, I just killed somebody? This is what, this is what happens when you hire activists to do jobs that real men and women should be doing. That makes no sense. So you were trying to kill me. You were trying to kill me. And then when you actually killed me, you got shocked and then decided to retreat. No, bitch, finish the job. Kill everybody. Oh, shit. Damn, I actually killed the nigga. I ain't know. I mean, like, and keep in mind, here's other context. He didn't mention this. Freckled Jesus has the super soldier serum. Jose Chavez says, bro, are you zesty? Real men don't watch movies. Joke's on you, Captain America. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was a TV show. Ha, there you go. Ha ha, gotcha. Gotcha, nigga. Gotcha. Anyway, let's continue.
Shows the incompetence of the writers, because you can't have these characters trying to actively kill the heroes in our story and then act like they have some kind of remorse for what they did. This is what they set out to do. So why are you trying to make them seem like the sympathetic ones? That doesn't make any sense. But regardless, John Walker is upset, obviously, because he just lost his best friend. So he's trying to find where the terrorists are gone. He jumps out the window, he sees one, and he chases him down. Now again, context. John Walker has the same knockoff super soldier serum that these terrorists have, and nobody knows he has the serum. I need you to keep that in mind for what happens next. Oh yeah, I might have forgot to say the terrorists are super soldiers. So they are living weapons, and as you can see in the clips from before, they don't mind killing innocent people. That is some more context to keep in mind. John Walker is trying to chase this man down and get him, and the terrorist runs into a public domain. So in running into a public domain, you just killed their best friend, and you just tried to kill him a moment earlier. You might kind of be a threat, huh? I don't know. Let's keep going. So remember the context that I said that nobody knows John Walker has the super soldier serum yet. So with him having the vibranium shield or not, the terrorist picks up a cinder block trash can and tosses it at John Walker. So regardless if he has the shield, he could still be seriously injured by that block getting thrown at him by a super soldier. Remember, they don't know he has the serum, so he was actively trying to kill John Walker in this instance. Meaning he is not trying to surrender, he is not running because he doesn't want to fight anymore, he's still trying to get you. So John Walker throws a shield at the back of the terrorist, and what is the first thing that he does? He charges right back at John Walker. He kicks him down to the ground. What's the first thing that he does? Try to get up to attack John Walker. In all of these instances, John Walker is in the right. And then we get to the moment that has everybody up in arms when he starts slamming his shield down on the terrorist. I've seen multiple arguments for this situation saying, oh, he shouldn't have done that. Oh, he was in control of the situation. Let's break down all of the arguments, shall we? Argument number one, he was surrendering in this moment. I want to take you back to a very
Hold on. He was surrendering? No, nigga, he surrendered when that foot got on his chest. Now, granted, that is a surrender. However, we're talking about a terrorist with the super soldier serum. Now, you can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. It's easy for you to sit in the real world and say, yeah, I would have subdued him. What was you going to do? Put handcuffs on the nigga? You going to put handcuffs on a super soldier?
popular movie in the MCU, that being Captain America Civil War. In said movie, Captain America and Bucky Barnes are going blow for blow with Iron Man, and Iron Man is mopping the floor with both of them because he has the programs for martial arts. Captain America gets the upper hand and starts beating the absolute shit out of Tony Stark. He starts slamming the shield on his helmet, and then he raises it one more time, and what does Tony Stark do? He puts his hands up. Was he putting his hands up because he was trying to surrender? No, he was doing exactly what humans do in any situation where something is flying towards them. They protect their head. It is a human instinct to do that because that's where your brain is at. So your first instinct is to shield your face. So if you want to use the argument, oh, he had his hands up, he was trying to surrender. No, he was trying to guard himself because John Walker was about to put the whooping on him. Argument number 2.
I don't know. I still think that can be interpreted as him trying to surrender. I don't. he didn't do this. He did this. To me, that looked more like surrendering. I mean, I get the argument that Kate is trying to make there, but to me, that looked like surrendering to me. Now, again, super soldier. So, I don't know.
Oh, he shouldn't have done this in such a public space. So you're telling me you're only upset because he happened to kill a terrorist in front of a bunch of civilians? Would you?
Yes, in such a gruesome fashion where it appeared like, listen, I get it. He got the job done. I agree with that. He got the job done. He did what he was technically supposed to do. But optics matter. The public doesn't know that this is a super soldier. The public doesn't know that this is a terrorist. And you have Captain America in a foreign country attacking a man in front of a bunch of people, and he killed him. I don't care what you say. Whether he was in the right or the wrong, it doesn't look good.
You have been upset if they were in the warehouse and he killed this man the exact same way. No, you wouldn't be. In fact, if they were trying to kill him, y'all wouldn't have a problem with it. Do you want to know why? I want to take you back to another classic Marvel movie, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. In said movie, Captain America is going one-on-one with the Winter Soldier, and in this moment, he has no idea that this is Buchanan Barnes. He is actively trying to kill this man, and this is in the public view of all the bystanders running around trying not to die from the Winter Soldier's actions. If he would have killed the Winter Soldier the exact same way John Walker did this terrorist, would y'all have had a problem with it then?
I don't agree with that either. I don't know how you you assume that he was actively trying to kill the Winter Soldier. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that at all. Like, of course, I'm not sure that he wasn't trying to kill him. I just don't see any evidence to suggest that he was absolutely trying to kill him. And also, this was in the middle of an attack. This wasn't in the middle of a public attack. I mean, Winter Soldier was blowing up cars and shit. So I think even in that situation, people understand there's a big ass nigga with a metal arm running around with a big ass gun blowing shit up. Steve Rogers, aka Captain America, is out there fighting him. If he happened to kill him and he dies, if the nigga dies, he dies. So I think while I understand what you're trying to say there, I'm not necessarily in agreement with that. Oh, he's still in the chat. He says, Kata says, I forgot to add Captain America took down 3 helicarriers full of people on them in the full view of the public, by the way. No, it don't even stop there, Kata. Not only did he take down 3 helicarriers with a bunch of people on them, but those helicarriers landed on a bunch of innocent people. So yeah, I get it. I get it. So yeah, that's a good point.
I don't think so. You see how this is starting not to make any sense? But I have more points for you just to disprove you some more. Argument number 3. He was in control when he had his foot on the terrorist.
Nah. Well, okay, it depends on how you look at it. He was in control as in what, meaning what? He was in control meaning what? Because he had his foot on his chest. Again, for the people making this argument, easy for you to say in the real world, because 9 times out of 10, if you put your foot on a regular man's chest, he probably knows he's defeated. We talking about a super soldier. Hey, yo, Person, please get this guy up out of here. I thought he was just, nah, get bro up out of here, bro. Get him up out of here. I'm trying to deal with that shit, man. Like, it's one thing to have you ain't finna keep spamming that shit, insulting everybody. Or Cryptid Beats. You, either one of y'all, get him up out of here. Please do me that solid.
That is such a dumb argument because of the context that I mentioned earlier. Remember, nobody knows that John Walker has this super soldier serum. When John Walker has the terrorist on the ground, who's to say that when John Walker let up, the terrorist doesn't try to get one up on him and kill him? Who's to say?
Exactly. Holy exactly.
That he doesn't try to grab his leg and break it because he doesn't know that he has a super soldier serum. There are so many variables in that moment. They're like, oh, he's in control. No, you don't know that. The man just actively tried to kill him 5 seconds prior. There's no reason why he should give this guy the benefit of the doubt. Argument number 3. He was clearly running away because he wanted to surrender.
Nah, Katie, you made that up. Ain't nobody making that argument. Ain't nobody making that argument. You made that up. Ain't nobody say that. Nobody thought that. You made that up, sir. What do you mean he was running away to surrender? That bitch ass nigga just picked up a fucking, what do they call it? A cinder block trash can and threw it at me. Surrender where? He was trying to surrender my life to God. What? That nigga was trying to surrender my life to God. Come on, man.
Really, he was running away because he wanted to surrender and not because the writers are stupid and trying to make them feel like they had some kind of empathy because they killed one of the dudes that they were actively trying to kill in the building. Okay, sure. But let me use that argument though. If he kept running in that plaza with all those civilians, who's to say that he wouldn't have used one of the civilians as a human shield for him to get out of that situation? Or God forbid, harm one of them in order to deter John Walker's attention away from him so that he could go attend to the civilians. There's so many variables and arguments that make y'all so wrong in this situation. But this is most importantly the last argument that I love to combat. Steve Rogers would never do anything like this. So you're telling me Steve Rogers wouldn't kill...
Nah, run it back. We gotta run that back, yeah. We got. Hey, he petty as fuck for that.
To combat. Steve Rogers would never do anything like this. So you're telling me Steve Rogers wouldn't kill unarmed terrorists or unsuspecting terrorists? Alright, you might have got me there. Wait, I just remembered something. I want to take you back to another classic Marvel movie called Captain America: The Winter Soldier. In the beginning of the movie, it is seen
I was just thinking about that. Do y'all remember watching The Winter Soldier, right? We come in fresh off the first Avenger, right? Those were Nazis and stuff like that. Okay, cool. Y'all remember watching in the opening scene, you're in the theater. Steve jumps down in the ocean, gets out of that boat, and he started throwing that shield around. You like, damn, Steve. Hold on. Wait. This is still Captain America, right? Like I mean, and the entire time I'm like, is that nigga dead? Like he was, and look, not Cameron just said it. He said Cap was slaughtering those terrorists. He absolutely fucking was. But my only pushback would be, it wasn't in public.
America is getting on a boat to get rid of terrorists who have a bunch of civilians on said boat. And it's even stated in the film that S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't negotiate with terrorists. So Captain America does what he does, and the first thing he does is kill an unsuspecting terrorist. Now remember the logic a lot of people like to use. Oh, he was surrendering. How do you not know he wasn't going to be aggressive anymore? How do you not know XYZ blah blah blah? How did Steve Rogers not know that the dude he just falcon punched off the side of this boat?
Nah, you got that wrong. You gotta get an L for that. Wasn't no falcon punch, nigga. That was a fucking colossal kick. Jesus Christ.
To surrender when they saw Captain America. Oh,
first of all, the way he kicked this man. Look at the way he kicked this man.
Walker just slammed his shield, basically cutting this dude in half. Is here. I don't know why cutting this dude in half would surrender when they saw Captain America.
Look how his back, gang. Look how his back hits this boat. His spine was instantly broken with the impact that he hit the back of this boat with. You don't even have to worry about him drowning. He died on the impact of hitting his boat, dog. Or his spine was broken.
Surrender when they saw
Boom!
Captain America.
Man, he's
John
dead,
Walker
bro.
just slammed his shield, basically cutting this dude in half with his shield. Steve Rogers would never do that. He literally kicked the man's spine into the side of a boat to fall into the ocean and drown in it. Let's be serious here. I don't know why people like to pretend like there's some kind of no-kill rule in the MCU when they've been offing motherfuckers since the very first.
Slaughtering niggas. Tony was slaughtering niggas before he became Iron Man. Thor, slaughtering niggas. Hulk, be for real. Be for real. Black Widow told you she slaughtered niggas. And then she just slaughtered niggas for the good guys now. I mean, Black Widow be like, boop, 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 boop. Just because she look good when she do it don't mean she ain't slaughtering niggas. Hawkeye, slaughtering niggas. He just do it on a lesser degree because he just hit niggas with arrows. Who not slaughtering?
Movie. Hell,
Think about the Avengers Age of Ultron. The beginning scene, the opening scene. They slaughtering niggas. They terrorists, but they slaughtering them.
oh, and one of the first scenes in Civil War where you see Captain America, he is actively breaking people's necks, spines, legs, and all kind of things. So why are we pretending like this is
Look how he slammed that nigga up against the wall.
So why are we pretending like this is some scenes in Civil War where you see Captain America, he is actively breaking people's necks, spines, legs, and all kind of things.
Boom!
So
You remember that? Bro, Steve, it was not necessary for you to pick this man up and slam him against the wall. Like, that was not necessary. That was not necessary. I remember seeing that. I'm like, bro, hey, I think Cap needs some time in the raft. I think Captain America needs some time in the raft. For all of those in favor, say aye. Because that nigga got some anger he need to get out.
So why are we pretending like this is some kind of new thing in the MCU? Oh, because he kept slamming. He just lost his best friend. Do you not think that Captain America would try to kill the person who killed Bucky Barnes right in front of him? Hold on.
Oh, yeah. No. You kill Bucky Barnes, you're gone. If you kill Bucky Barnes, Steve is off in your ass for good. For good. Okay? For good.
Didn't he actually try to do that? I want to take you back to another classic MCU movie called Captain America, The First Avenger. When Bucky and Captain America are on the train trying to get to Arnhem Zola, a soldier shoots Bucky off the side of a train. And what is the first thing that Captain America does? He picks up that shield and chucks it at that dude at full strength, trying to kill him. Can we please be serious here? But I think the funniest part about it all is the fact that the writers are the ones who don't understand this situation the most. Because if the writers understood the story that they were trying to tell with this character and the arc that he was going on, of course, what he just did was gruesome. Of course, what he just did might seem unstable because he just took a newly acquired super soldier serum. And that all would work if you didn't have the previous context of the scenes prior. If you didn't have the terrorists actively trying to kill them. If you didn't have the terrorists succeed in killing one of his friends. If you didn't have the terrorists continuing trying to harm John Walker. If you didn't have a previous scene showcasing that these people have no empathy and are willing to blow up hospitals and
yeah. So I agree with that. What they should have did was when the dude was running, he should have willfully turned himself over. And he should have been like, if you wanted to make this argument, he should have been like, I'm sorry, we didn't mean to kill your friend, this, that, and the third. And then you have John Walker kill him. Then you can make an argument. But that's not what this nigga did. That's not what he did. And so I think we're going to leave it there. Shout out to Kata. Make sure we drop a like. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put the link to his video. And I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to make sure. I didn't mean to do that. Hold up.
The terrorists only set us.
I'm going to make sure I put the link to his video in the chat for those of you who want to go and watch it yourself, or you just want to go and, drop a like. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't seen it, there it is right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dance. Sorry about that. All right. Kata says, go watch it or I'm a John Walker your ass. And you don't want that. You don't want that. All right. All right. There's a really good video by Kata. Yeah, niggas in the comments going crazy. So anyway, what are we gonna talk about today? Not today, but just now. I just want to say I really like the John Walker character. He's a knockoff. He's a knockoff Captain America that works. A problematic Captain America, and I think that's more compelling than Captain Clarence. So, I mean, dare I say, if they would have included him in Captain America 4, just saying. All right, so we got to talk about The Last of Us. But before we do, I want to get into some of y'all comments. Let's see. Vitzo says the problem is the writing, not the fact that whether Steve killed someone. Facts. Not Kevin says Falcon's first movie should have been a live-action remake of the original Falcon comic series. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just don't think Falcon should have got a movie. Period. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. He never earned that. He never earned it. At no point whatsoever in Sam Wilson's career in the MCU. At no point. Oh, it said I'm muted. Am I muted? Can y'all not hear me? Oh, okay. Okay. At no point in Sam Wilson's career had he done anything that says he deserves his own film. See, when Black Panther showed up in Civil War, it was earned. Y'all remember that? It was earned. Like, let's not sit here and pretend like, okay, of course, like Spider-Man showed up in Civil War. Spider-Man showed up in Civil War, but everybody knew Spider-Man was going to get his own film. It's Spider-Man. One of the greatest characters in human history. Spider-Man. Hold on. Why am I... Is this an emergency? Hold on, let me dance on y'all one more. Sorry about that. Yeah, let's just move on to The Last of Us. Let's move on to The Last of Us. Freaking throwing me off, these crazy calls. All right, so for those of you who don't know, The Last of Us Season 2 is going on. I wouldn't be surprised if you are not watching it. I haven't watched it, so I won't sit up here and lie and tell you that it's trash. I don't know, because I haven't watched it. But what I will say is that Season 2 has been memed to death. Bella Ramsey has been getting cooked left and right, and goddamn it, is hilarious. But there is a there's a scene in The Last of Us right now that is absolutely getting cooked, and we're gonna play it. Hopefully, we don't get copywritten for this. So let's just here it is.
So we're having a baby. I mean, we and also, I guess, Jesse or... It was Jesse, right? So we're all having a baby. Holy shit. I'm gonna be a dad.
Oh. I'm floored. Absolutely, positively floored. Absolutely, positively floored. Somebody brought up the idea that they're supposed to be like, I guess, decades into the apocalypse. So how are the pregnancy tests still working? I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Lumi brought that up. First of all, here's my thing. Damn, Bella Ramsey is ugly. But she said she brought up Jesse. So are you saying she had sex with Jesse, got pregnant, and now you're coming to your girlfriend and saying, yeah, you're going to be a father? Hey, man. Y'all lesbians got it bad. If that's what we doing, y'all lesbians got it bad. Because holy, there's no way, and no, I don't care if I was a frog. There's no way that my spouse could come to me and tell me they're pregnant by somebody else and that I'm going to be the father. Run it back one more time. Run it back.
I mean, we and also, I guess, Jesse or... It was Jesse, right? So we're all having a baby. Holy shit. I'm gonna be a dad.
This is gross.
Yeah.
And Shorty had nothing to say because she knows she wildin'. She blew them legs open for a dude to get that baby. And now, and he gonna be a happy deadbeat. Shit. Baby ain't mine. That's her baby now. Look at these comments. A shit show of the highest order. Fuck Naughty Dog. If anybody ever wonders why Trump won the election, here you go. I'm gonna be a dad. Wait, is she trans in the show? Nah, she just Shorty. Hey man, I'm dead. What? I don't get it. My brother said the show was about a gay character, so I didn't watch it. Now I'm so glad I didn't. Yeah. I mean, there you go. But we're not done with The Last of Us, though. Oh, before we even do that, hold on. Y'all gotta see this. Where is it? Cooking our ass. My leg. Whoa, no. Gang. That's one of those pictures you just got to sit there and look at. I don't even have a meme for this. Yeah, I do. Saw that shit.
Oh shit.
Man. Cooked. Absolutely, positively cooked. But we're not done with The Last of Us. We're not done. Okay? Because apparently, they're not very happy about how people are covering The Last of Us. HBO has just copyright struck the Critical Drinker's latest video, Why The Last of Us is Falling Apart. Oh, man. Now, I want y'all to understand, the Critical Drinker, whether Hollywood likes it or not, the Critical Drinker, they may not respect him out there in Hollywood, but they watch him. Why? Because the audience is watching. How does a YouTuber get more credibility in your industry by just sitting at home making videos? Well, just critiquing movies anyway. More people are watching The Critical Drinker than reading your articles. And so now you got to fight back. Roasting your show. And we're going to copyright strike them. I don't see y'all copyright striking nobody else. Let's go and see what The Critical Drinker himself had to say. Let's see if we can find him. My phone is blowing up right now. Let's see what he had to say. He says, hey, HBO, are you guys going to unblock my Last of Us video or continue to shamelessly abuse the YouTube copyright system like a bunch of pussies? Because really, you're just proving how afraid you are of actual criticism. Ooh, cooking. Look at that. Look how much engagement. 500,000 views. 500,000 views. And they took it down. Well, 500,000 on Twitter and then 500,000 on YouTube, and they took it down. Look, this tweet right here got 1 million. Y'all can't even get engagement like that on y'all ads. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Okay? Absolutely insane. But I don't know. HBO turned off the comments on their Black Snape IG post because they didn't want to hear from the audience. They're cowards. Yeah, they're trying to protect. They're trying to protect so bad, but it's not going to work, okay? The audience will get out our opinions. We will let our thoughts be known, and you'll see it one way or another. But they don't understand that when they do things like this, gang, all you're doing is showing us that we are having the impact that we set out to have. That's all you're doing. So, I don't know. Let that be that. Bella Ramsey's getting cooked, and we're going to go ahead and wind down. Okay? We're going to go ahead and wind it down. Now, I was going to start playing Expedition 33 right after this, but I just got a phone call that I'm going to have to return. So I'm going to have to end the stream. But we will be back playing South of Midnight tonight at midnight. Grifty the Clown will be back. Let me make sure I go and get let me make sure I go and get the link for that. So for those of you who are not subscribed to Grifty the Clown, you can do so by clicking on this link. There you go. And tonight we will be playing South of Midnight again, okay? We'll be playing South of Midnight and full blown clown fit. Also, make sure you guys are there on Friday for New Blackstreet. Vera Dark will be there. Also, make sure y'all are following me on Instagram and everything else. In the meantime, I'm going to get up out of here. As always, may the grift be with you.